Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Cartersville, Georgia. Who would have thunk it? The first elimination game is featuring the 1 and the 2 seeds, both losing in an upset in their first games played today. And now all of a sudden, a Friday, a championship day of softball will not include one of your top 2 seeds because one is going to knock off the other in this one. Carly Taylor starting it off for Georgia Military. And then you've got the enviable task, or maybe that's unenviable, of winning 3 games tomorrow if you are going to win it all. So a hole has been dug by losing the opening game for Georgia Military and Gordon. But if you're going to dig your way out, here's that first scoop of dirt, that first shovel. The elimination game, Carly Taylor starts it. Hudson Smith, the 2-hitter. Caitlin Hallman in the 3 spot. Bella Owens hitting 4th. Alyssa Jones 5th. Paris Kirby is the 6-hitter. Addie Moss hitting 7th. Rain Williams 8th. And Emma Reiner in the 9 hole for the Bulldogs. Swing and a miss, and out will go Taylor. And there is one away here in the top of the first.
Now batting for GNC, number 17, Hudson.
Caitlin Munoz getting the start in the circle for Gordon. She started the game against East Georgia and came out after 2 2/3 innings. Kate Cole behind the plate. Skylar Evans at first. Second baseman is Maddie Neal. The shortstop, Johnny Littlejohn. And third, you'll find Emma Gable. And outfield has Emma Smith in left. Abby Arnold in right. I make that in center. And Reagan Waller is in right. Popped up by Smith, but will get out of play. Couple of one-run games lost by these two Bulldogs, 3-2 to ABAC. Gordon 5-4 to East Georgia. 1-2 the count on Hudson Smith. Caitlin Hallman to the on-deck circle. That is driven towards right field. It will hit, drop and roll. Waller tracks it down, but not before Smith slides into second with a 1-out double. So the Bulldogs with a base runner at second. And Caitlin Hallman coming to the plate.
With one on second and third in the order, number 5, Caitlin Hallman.
Bella Owens moving to the on-deck circle. One-0 pitch to Hallman. And the count goes even at 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 runner aboard. Scoring position for Caitlin Hallman. Bella Owens is on deck. High with the offering from Munoz. Warm afternoon here in Cartersville, but kind of pleasant up here in the box, considering how warm it is outside. Popped up to second. Maddie Neal back onto the grass to make the catch. And there's 2 gone for Bella Owens.
Now batting for the Bulldogs,
87
Bella
degrees.
Owens.
Got winds out of the south-southeast at 7, gusting to 12. Humidity at 38%. It is 11 degrees above normal. Air quality 58 and moderate. The UV index 4 and moderate. So that means, Dave Elder, you can tan without burning. Might still need a little protection. Some copper tone.
Stick your keister out there in the middle of the day for 3 hours and tell me you aren't burnt without any lotion on there.
I don't even have to stick the keister out there. Any part of me would burn. So I'll just stay situated right here.
Yeah, I'll join you. I'll take. It might be a little warm in here, but we got the fan blowing, and there's a breeze, so I'll join you right here.
A little air circulating through the box. Popped up on the infield, and this time it will be Little John with a catch. One double, one stranded. We go to the bottom of the first. Gordon coming to bat. Just about all White Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Perhaps got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
Leading off to the Highlanders at the bottom of the first, number 2, Emma Smith.
Bottom of the first, top of the order for Gordon. Emma Smith will start it. Maddie Neal, the two-hitter. Emma Gable batting third. Skylar Evans fourth. Isla McGee is the five-hitter. Johnny Little John batting in the sixth spot. Reagan Waller hits seventh. Abby Arnold eighth. Kate Cole is the nine-hitter. Addie Moss getting the start in the circle for Georgia Military. Paris Kirby behind the plate. Bella Owens at first. Second baseman Hudson Smith. At short, Caitlin Hallman. The third baseman is Rain Williams. Outfield, Emma Reiner in left. Center fielder Carly Taylor. Mackenzie Maddox in right. 2-1 the count on Emma Smith. That is sent foul. And the count even at 2. I wonder if Emma's mama and daddy are big Cowboy fans. Emma. Strikeout of Emma Smith. Of course, you know, Emmett Smith is from my neck of the woods, Pensacola. Was an Escambia product. As a matter of fact, way back when I called football for Milton High School, Escambia was in their conference, in their district in the Panhandle, and Emmett Smith was the running back for Escambia. Heard about him when he was in the 8th grade. And I'm like, this guy just must be a speedster, because an 8th grader is not big enough to carry the load. He was carrying guys down the field.
Well, I thought my the Wi-Fi here had slowed down. 10 megs up, 11 megs down. Yes, it is slowed down. Everybody has gotten on the Wi-Fi here. Get off the Wi-Fi. We're trying to work.
You need to go in the stands, find out everybody that's on Wi-Fi.
And just start yelling, hey, we're working here. Yeah.
Yep. By the way, thank you very much to Jack Monfort. He's the guy that made sure we didn't have to rely.
He got you hardwired.
That's right. Maddie Neal delivering with a base hit. Both teams with a one-out base hit. Hudson Smith got on for the Bulldogs. Maddie Neal gets on for Gordon.
Now batting, number 32, Emma Gable.
One more game to go. And then day one of a two-day event is done. East Georgia and ABAC, 3 and 4 seeds battling. All right, now tomorrow, got to ask, because this higher seed home team scenario, if you've got a winner's bracket team taking on a higher seeded loser's bracket team,
Undefeated team is the home.
Always
seed.
the home.
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to verify. 2-0 pitch to Gable. 2-1.
Thought you were going to ask me a question. I had to rely on my iPad. And I'm like, oh, you're paying me back for game 2, in which I put you on the spot.
Yep. Glad you brought that up. I'll work on that.
I think I'm going to have to go to the hot spot because this is definitely the slow spot right now.
Gordon reeling from stranding. 12 in East Georgia game. Hit to Williams. Gets the lead runner. Won't be a throw on to first for 2. But Neal out as Gable wraps into the 5-4.
Now batting, number 22, Skylar
Jones,
Evans.
Kirby, and Moss when you get to the second for Georgia Military. Skylar Evans. 3 strikeouts and hit by a pitch, came in and scored a run in that 2-run 7th inning that looked like Gordon might pull it out late. But they wind up stranding 2 of the 12 and come up a run short. But kudos to East Georgia. We talked about it earlier.
Hey.
Any of the 4.
Came to play.
Base hit into left field by Evans.
Brianna Johnson pitched a whale of a ball game for the Bobcats.
Let's see, she scattered a total of 10 hits. Only allowed 4 runs, 1 in the first, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 7th. And she struck out
At the plate,
9.
number 14, Allie McGee.
Allie McGee with a couple of base runners on, 2 gone. Count even, 1 apiece. Joni Littlejohn to the on-deck circle. That'll get away from Kirby, and Gable will go to third. Evans taking second. Little outside with the pitch. Count goes to 3-1. Georgia Military never led in that game this morning against ABAC. Line to Smith. She'll make the catch at second. And McGee out number 3.
And the killer right now for Gordon State is they cannot buy a 2-out hit.
And that 2-out would-be hit is a line out. McGee leaving 2 stranded as we go to the second.
Gordon State in the bottom. Leading off for Georgia Military in the top of the second, number 13, Alyssa Jones.
Top of the second, Alyssa Jones starts it. Paris Kirby and Addie Moss due up in the inning 2. We know that Allie Hatterman was not pleased with the number of runners stranded in the game against East Georgia. She asked how many were left on when she came up into the box. Well, she's probably not going to be happy that that total is now at 14 through 8 innings.
No, she wasn't happy with 12 through 7. Because I told her, I said, you know how many left on base? When I told her, she was like, she was not pleased.
And made a not pleased exclamation. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Jones, the DP. Kirby and Moss do up here in the second. Sunny, a little bit on the windy side here. Also got some baseball going on across the way. I think it was 1-0. Oh, I can see the scoreboard. Now 3-2. Chargers over the Fighting Tigers.
Bottom of the third.
Popped up to center field. Back tracking a bit to make the catch. Abby Arnold. I love my spot here. I could almost call it a baseball game from the softball field. If I could see home plate, it's all that's missing. Paris Kirby high and away with the pitch. But for fans in the stands, some of them, as a matter of fact, I think there's a gentleman there kind of splitting time between softball and baseball. Inside with the offering to Kirby. It was either that or he was whispering sweet nothings into his wife's ear. But he looks about my age, so he was watching baseball and softball. My wife doesn't listen.
I'm speechless.
2-1 the count on Kirby.
Which for me, that's a rarity.
She's shopping right now. I don't think she's got the game on, so. 2-1 pitch, fouled back 2-2.
Well, if Kim's shopping, you should be concerned right now.
Count even at 2, 1 away, nobody aboard. Addie Moss on deck. 2-2 pitch. That is popped up center field. Abby Arnold over to make the catch, and there's 2 gone. Rain Williams to the on-deck circle. Little John, Waller, and Arnold when you get to the bottom part of the inning. That is shot towards right field, and that is right over the head. Right fielder Reagan Waller couldn't get to it, picks it up at the fence. Addie Moss, a triple with 2 gone. That got there so quickly that Waller didn't really have a lot of time to react.
I thought Waller was playing in a little too tight.
Number 42, Rain Williams.
And you're right, it did get there quick.
Fouled away by Rain Williams. That was Addie Moss's second triple of the year. Emma Reiner is on deck. 6, 7, and 8 in the golden order when you get to the bottom part of the inning. Bulldogs trying to take the lead in the top part of the second. 0-2 Caitlin Munoz pitch. That is popped up left side, looks playable. And Emma Smith will get into foul territory. Make the catch, and Moss stranded. Another Bulldog hit, and another Bulldog stranded as we go to the bottom of the second.
Sports fans, we cheer on our favorite teams at fields, gyms, arenas, and stadiums. But have you ever wondered what it's like to be a referee? Verbal abuse from fans, parents, and coaches is the #1 reason why many referees are walking away. And they're not being replaced quickly enough by new ones. So put yourself in the official shoes, act with respect, and be officially human.
And don't forget, if you haven't already, follow us Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. On Thread scores, TikTok and Instagram, kind of a smorgasbord. Schedules on our Facebook page, and then on Twitter, a.k.a. X, we post highlights.
Now batting for the Highlanders,
And subscribe to our
number 4,
YouTube channel if you don't mind.
Bulldogs.
I think we're 49 away from 4,000. It's the goal this weekend. Of course, it was the goal last weekend. And I think the weekend before that. Bottom of the second, Johnny Littlejohn starts it. Reagan Waller and Abby Arnold due up in the inning. Neither team has been able to put leadoff on, and not going to happen in the bottom of the second either. As Owens, the backhand to get Littlejohn. One out for Reagan Waller.
Now batting in the 7th slot, number 1, Reagan Waller.
Abby Arnold to the on-deck circle, bottom of the order, starting off the top of the Georgia Military College, third. Here at Charger Field, home of the Georgia Highlands Chargers. Popped up shallow right onto the grass goes Smith at second. 2 away for Abby Arnold.
Now batting number 6, Abby Arnold.
One more game to go, a battle of the unbeatens, which means ABAC and East Georgia both will have a spot tomorrow. But somebody won't. And that somebody that won't be playing tomorrow will either be Bulldogs or Highlanders.
Elimination game right now. The first game of tomorrow will be an elimination game. There's a base hit.
2-out shot. Well, it's one of those 2-out base hits when nobody's on. You're looking for one for Gordon when somebody's on.
Or Gordon's looking for a 2-out hit when somebody's on. But tomorrow, well, I say tomorrow morning, the noon kickoff tomorrow, noon first pitch will also be an elimination game. So the winner of this game and the loser of our 6 o'clock game tonight, or 6:30 game, will be playing first dibs out of the gate tomorrow at 12. So that at 12 o'clock, we'll have someone else going home. And then we'll go move to the championship game. Tough thing is right now, whoever gets to tomorrow.
Annie Moss throws it away. That has got Arnold on her way to third. Puts on the brakes there. E1 has got 2 in scoring position for the top of the order.
It's going to be very difficult for a team to come out of tomorrow's 12 o'clock ball game, win that game, win the championship game, and then win the
Now
F
batting
game.
number 2, Emma
Yep.
Smith.
I want to say the last team that might have done that was either Perimeter or Darton, and that tells you how long it's been.
Last year, Gordon won it all. Did they not play an elimination game? Of course, there was that rain mixed in that kind of made it feel like a 3 or 4 day tournament.
Yeah. There's nothing like having to sit in a hotel room.
0-1 pitch. Ground over to Owen. She'll tag out the runner. Smith tagged out. Error does not create damage.
2 more left on base.
And we go to the third. 16 now. Stranded by Gordon as we go to the Bulldog third. Just about all white. Jones County diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
Batting for the Bulldogs to start the top of the third. Number 1, Emma Reiner.
Bottom of the order, top of the third. Emma Reiner starts in. Carly Taylor and Hudson Smith. 2 up in the inning, 2. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Munoz. Scoreless game. Both teams with runners in both the first and second inning, but neither team with runs. .20 pitch to Reiner. That will get out of play. 2-1.
Reiner hitting .257 on the season, 2 home runs, 9 ribbies, 16 stolen bases. So if she can get on, she can create some havoc on the bases.
She went 0 for 3 in the game against ABAC. Count even at 2. First game today went an hour 25. Game 2 went an hour 54. And here we are with game 3. That is hit well towards left field. Going back, Smith. It's out of the park. Solo home run. Emma Reiner.
It's the Bulldogs home run.
Third one of the year.
Solo charge from number 1, Emma Reiner.
Right over the middle of the plate. Reiner hops on it. And Georgia Military gets their leadoff hitter on and in.
At the top of the order for the Bulldogs, with number 12, Carly Taylor.
First home run hit today.
That is the first one today.
So we've now got the cycle today, though. We've had triples, homers, doubles, and obviously singles. Top of the order, Carly Taylor. Taylor struck out in the first.
Munoz does not seem to be on her game today. And Georgia Highlands assistant coach is sitting to my left, and she's shaking her head in agreement. So, yeah, I'm not – when somebody who sees them all year and somebody who sees it just a little bit confirms what you're thinking, you know, you look at how many times Caitlin was pitcher of the week. I'm thinking 6 times, I think. And then pitcher of the year, you know she's good. It's just not – you can look at her nonverbal cues.
Able to get Taylor on the 1-3. You look at her season numbers, 130 innings. 2.09 ERA, but in the opening game, lasted just 2 2/3 and gave up 4 runs. And that home run hit by Reiner was the 9th one given up by Munoz. Popped up by Smith on the infield, and her second base counterpart making the catch, Maddie Neal.
Next up, that third in the order.
2 outs for Caitlin Hallman. We are into the third. Bulldogs with 3 hits. But of the 3 hits, no singles. got the double, the triple, the home run, but don't have the single. Hallman trying to butt her way aboard. Bella Owens on deck. Neal, Gable, and Evans when you get to the bottom of the third for Gordon. High pitch to Hallman.
I mean, you look at Munoz on the year, ERA 2.09, number one in the conference. Games won, 11, third in the conference. Strikeouts, 161st in the conference. Saves, she even got a save during the season, which put her in the top 4. So you look at those stats, and I mean, you see why she was the pitcher of the year. And big thing was she's got a lot of strikeouts during the season. Just doesn't seem to be quite on her game, as I said.
To center field goes Caitlin Hallman, the catch made by Abby Arnold. Reiner's leadoff home run, the difference thus far. Bulldogs will take their first lead of the day off the round tripper.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
Starting out for the Highlanders in the bottom of the third, number 10, Natty Neal.
Don't forget, want to watch the game later, we can fix you up. Go to the website. There is a link right there on the front page. And yeah, there's a tiny fee, but it's less than the cost of a cup of coffee maybe once a month, once every 2 weeks.
Hey, with shrinkflation going on right now, a cup of coffee, well, I'm not a Starbucks fan, but what, you walk out of Starbucks, $7?
I go to Starbucks for the hot chocolate, almond milk instead of the regular, and then I go ahead and taint it again with whipped cream.
So you're a soy boy?
Well, sometimes.
I'm on my game
It's
today.
actually
I'm on my game today,
there again,
Robert.
it's the wife that dictates these trips to Starbucks.
Okay.
She and the pup. I got to get a puppuccino.
A puppuccino.
Yep.
Is that from something to do with Mama Tot?
No, puppuccino's the little pup cup for the dog.
Oh.
Starbucks has puppuccinos.
They got a meow chows?
I do not know about stuff for the kitty cat. Fouled away by Maddie Neal. Emma Gable, Skylar Evans due up in the bottom of the third. Gordon trying to respond to the Emma Reiner home run in the top part of the inning. 1-2 pitch to Neal, who singled in the first.
Neal coming in 353 average on the season. No dingers, 17 ribbies.
1-2 the count on Neal. She's got one of the 3 base hits. 2 hopper grabbed by Hallman, goes to first. Neal out on the 6-3.
You know, the great thing about turf is you get true hops. But they're a little bit quicker getting to you.
Gable.
And it doesn't take long to wear some of the areas. You see where the pitcher is and right around second.
They're not worn. That's those little rubber pellets.
Ah.
So when they come back in and groom the field,
I see.
They've got a little machine. It looks like it looks almost like a bush hog, but it's got little rakes under it. So when they pull it with the cart, it spreads all the little rubber pellets out properly. So that's not warm because that's in there for a base hit.
1 out single for Emma Gable.
You'd sit there and think that, man, this facility's brand new. Shouldn't be worn out already. It's not.
Glad you cleared that up. So when somebody throws a toss into the dirt, it's really not into the dirt. It's into the little rubber pellets.
It's into the pellets.
Or back onto the grass. That's not pellets too, though, is it? No. Little blades of plastic.
Back into the polyethylene.
More and more fields going to the artificial turf for a variety of reasons. 1-0 pitch with a base runner on, tying run at first as that one is sent foul by Skylar Evans. Shout outs in the 4th, so we are about 2 outs away from sending shout outs to Dave Elder. Maybe I should post your number versus mine. 1-1 pitch.
Maybe we should find another broadcasting group for next week.
All right, I'll stick my number on there.
You wouldn't do that to me unless you could get away with it.
2-1 pitch to Evans. That is too low.
No, y'all send the shout outs to Robert because his replies are much kinder than mine.
We'll get that number posted on the scoreboard in between innings. So get those creative thinking caps on. Little check swing sent foul.
Skylar's got 8 round trippers on the year. She's got a runner on first. I know Gordon State would love to see one clear the fence on their side for once.
It has popped up, but not going to go deep enough. Carly Taylor underneath it makes the catch for out number 2. After this tournament wraps up, I think our coverage of softball ends until the end of July. We'll be doing a Dixie Youth Softball World Series up in Virginia. That's a fair ball, hit the bag, and will make its way into left field. McGee on with a single. Johnny Littlejohn coming to the plate. I am a little leery of Virginia. I carried or covered that same tournament about 3 years ago, and where you're situated, typically we're removed from the fans. Like here, there I was in the middle of the fans. As this has popped up to Smith at second.
Probably one of those games that you didn't want to have a field mic right there.
It can get a little rowdy, that's for sure, especially in youth sports.
Let the kids play. Mom and Dad be quiet. Let them play.
To the 4th we go in a 1-zip game. Just about all White Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Craft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
Leading off in the 4th for the Bulldogs, number 31, Bella Owen.
First pitch, top of the fourth. Bella Owens will pop it up to first baseman Skylar Evans, and there is one away. Well, already we've chipped into your shout-out time, so there's the number posted to the scoreboard. And by now you probably know the process. Who's it to, who's it from, what's the message, where you're watching from. If it's at work, stick that on there. It's a unique spot to be watching the game that we can talk about. Stick that on there. And if you got a little watch party going on, snap a photo and send it all to 334-488-1385. 334-488-1385. We'll do it all. Fourth inning long. Alyssa Jones starting it off. Paris Kirby. Or actually, Owen started it. Jones now to the plate. Kirby to follow. Little soft shot to Little John at short. Two gone for Paris Kirby.
Now batting, number 23.
Kirby popped out in the center field in the second. And of course, you can shout out anytime you like on YouTube. We just do it via your text and an audio version of the shout out here in the fourth. High pitch to Paris Kirby. Waller, Arnold, and Cole. 7, 8, and 9 in the Gordon order when you get to the bottom of the fourth. 2-0 pitch to Kirby. He'll check swing. Fouls it off, 2-1. Addie Moss, who has one of the 3 Bulldog base hits, is on deck. Two-one pitch, and it's 2-2 on Kirby. Kirby's a .369 hitter this year. Inside offering. 9 walks, 7 strikeouts. 9 extra base hits, the bulk of those doubles. 3-2 pitch. Little John gobbles it up at short, over to first with a throw. And the Bulldogs will go 1-2-3 in the top of the fourth.
Sports fans, we cheer on our favorite teams at fields, gyms, arenas, and stadiums. But have you ever wondered what it's like to be a referee? Verbal abuse from fans, parents, and coaches is the #1 reason why many referees are walking away. And they're not being replaced quickly enough by new ones. So put yourself in the official shoes, act with respect, and be officially human.
Bottom of the fourth, Reagan Waller will start it. Abby Arnold and Kate Cole due up in the inning two. Addie Moss made 34 regular season appearances, 29 as a starter, went 13 and 7 with 1 save, 141 and a third innings pitched. 134 hits given up, 77 runs, 49 earned, 2.43 ERA. Gave up 10 home runs, struck out 81. And facing Reagan Waller, who popped out to second in the second. Gordon trying to get lead off on for the first time in the game. That is hit to right field, and there the catch made by Mackenzie Maddox. I'm looking back to the game that preceded. They got lead off on twice in the first and seventh inning against East Georgia. Otherwise, leadoff has not been aboard. Abby Arnold singled her last at-bat. Kate Cole on deck. Count even at one, a ball, a strike, hit it out. Hits every inning, 2 runners stranded every inning for Gordon. But thus far scoreless. And have now left 18 on today. Inside with the pitch. Count goes to 3-1. Annie Moss hasn't walked anybody yet, but has the count at 3-1 on Arnold. Popped up in the direction of center field. Carly Taylor's there, nearly overrated, but able to make the catch, and there's 2 away.
Well, right next door to us, the final game of the season, Georgia Highlands baseball has a 4-2 lead over Andrew College for the top of the 5th.
Cool.
So, trying to finalize that. We've got that bracket pretty much finalized. The only thing that's not decided is ABAC and East Georgia. Either way, they're going to end up playing each other first, but who ends up being the home team? One will be the 4, one will be the 5. So you got Highlands 1, Gordon State 2. Both of those have byes. That's popped up.
And Carly Taylor will call for it and make the catch. 1, 2, 3 goes Gordon.
3 South Georgia State. We just told you about the 4-5 slot flip-flop there. It could be either 1 and number 6 Andrew. So that's what we're looking at for the bracket for baseball next week. But right now we got softball.
And we go to the 5th inning.
Nothing else on the board.
Bottom of the order, bottom third of the order coming up for the Bulldogs.
Leading off to the 5th for the Bulldogs, number 27, Addie Moss.
Top of the 5th, bottom of the order coming to the plate. Addie Moss will start it. Rain Williams, Emma Reiner due up in the inning 2. Addie Moss with a 2-out triple in the 2nd inning. Georgia Military 3 base hits, but they have not, as I mentioned earlier, had a single. All have been extra base hits. And has popped up in the direction of right field. And able to make the catch is Reagan Waller, not without a little bit of drama. She nearly went too far back. Able to come in and make the catch, and that is now 7 straight retired by Munoz after the home
Now
run
batting, number 42,
by Emma Reiner.
Green Williams.
Well, as the weather always changes, if you don't like the weather, just wait a little bit. Been watching all week and was concerned about getting in games this week here. Well, we knew we could play, but didn't know how many delays we'd have in the process. So we went from a lot of showers today to none. Tomorrow was up to about 50%. Now it's down to 20. Let's hope it stays there or decreases. We can get tomorrow's games in and let them move on to district.
Love the area, but, kind of would like to wrap it up on Friday and head home for a day or two. I guess a day, not two.
And turn right back around and come back.
Yep.
Should have just brought Kim with you and let her shop while you were here and just made a little getaway.
That actually is not a bad idea, but we did make a little getaway as this one has popped up back this direction. Into the stands by Rain Williams. Up to Asheville. I think it was last week. Had 4 days off, so actually created 4 days off. Didn't have it, but made it. And it was 40-something at night, one of the nights we were there.
Asheville's a neat little town. A little eclectic,
3-2 the count on Rain Williams.
And if you've never been to the Biltmore, you need to try to make it 2 times in the year. Not the same year necessarily, but 2 different seasons. Going at Christmas is absolutely beautiful. They have it decorated. But you got to get tickets real early if you're going to go in December to see that. And other times in, I want to say May, when they have all the tulips and all the flowers blooming in the garden area. So 2 different times to get up there and see that. You won't be disappointed, I can tell you that.
Rain Williams given a walk with 1 away. That snaps a string of 7 straight. Retired by Munoz. And a base runner on for Emma Reiner. And it looks like we may get a runner for Reiner.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, number 1, Emma Reiner.
That is Haley Morgan.
Yep.
Let's see, right now in the Biltmore, though, is the, as you know, I'm not really into this stuff. The wife is it the Chihuly glass display, I think? I mean, I listen to the wife. I do listen. And I think she said Chihuly.
You weren't talking about charcuterie, were you?
No, I don't think so.
That'd be a board. That'd be a wood board.
It was glass.
Oh, well,
I remember that. And I remember the last syllables being Uli. And I'm thinking Chihuly. Could have been Chihuly. Emma Reiner with a home run in the 3rd. Top of the order, Carly Taylor to the on-deck circle.
Chihuly. Is it Chihuly?
Maybe so. Chihuly. It's a guy that does glass art.
American glass sculptor, Dale Chihuly.
Yep.
There we go.
1-1 pitch. Off and running is Morgan, and she'll get in safely.
Okay. Looking at some of the images,
Did you look at some of the prices? That was all.
Well, I was going to say they're pretty, but
they're pretty high.
Knowing you and I, yes, they're probably pretty high. No, I do not want to know.
Popped up into foul territory. Skylar Evans makes the catch. 2 gone. Morgan will stay at second. And those Chihuly glass, it reminds me of, the skit on Hee Haw from years ago, where I think it was Roy Clark said that if riverboats were a dime a piece, all I could do is run up and down the shore saying, "Ain't that cheap?" That would be me.
Well, that's why I guess it's good sometimes I'm married to an accountant, because she'll pinch Abe Lincoln until he screams before she lets go.
Bunted foul by Taylor. 0 for 2 in the game. Struck out and ground out.
But it makes it difficult when I want to get a hunting accessory. I've got a purchase order into her right now that's been sitting in the queue for quite some time, and she hadn't stamped it to move forward.
You've been
yet.
lobbying for that, but popped up. Little John back onto the grass, and she will reach over Emma Smith and make the catch. Taylor flies out. One runner stranded. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Still a 1-zip Georgia military lead.
Sports fans, we pack stadiums, arenas, and local gyms every day. And every sports fan is uniquely human. Seeing each play with your own eyes, triggering your own emotions. And as humans, we won't agree on every call, but we can act with empathy and consideration. So put yourself in the official shoes. Be more than a fan. Be officially human.
Top of the order, bottom of the 5th. Emma Smith starts it. Maddie Neal and Emma Gable due up in the inning, too.
At the top of the order, number 2, Emma Smith.
One of these two teams will still be playing tomorrow. The other will not. Strike delivered to Emma Smith to begin the bottom of the 5th.
You know, one thing on dirt fields, when you got slap hitters, they tend to scrape out the front of the box. That's not possible here, and that really, I tell you what, if I'm an umpire, I'm going to be watching that. If I got a slap hitter.
0-2 pitch, right where it was framed by Kirby, a little low and away. Maddie Neal on deck. Addie Moss gathering 5 hits. Smith will strike out. That is K number 2 for Moss, and they've both been of Smith.
Now batting for the Highlanders, number 10, Maddie Neal.
Maddie Neal 1 for 2, a single and a ground out.
Maddie hitting 353 on the year. No round tripper, 17 ribbies.
0-1 pitch, too far outside. It's been a good day of softball, though. You talk about a 1-run game in the first game, second game, and this one at the moment. What a catch by Rain Williams.
Well, she's earned her position down there at third, made several excellent ball plays today.
Now batting at third in the order, number 32, Emma Gable.
Yeah, I'd much rather prefer the one-run ball games, the tight ball games, than the blowouts. We've had several of those blowouts down at Strong Rock, and we're just sitting there telling ourselves, gosh, can we just get this over with?
Emma Gable next. Hallman dropped it late over to first. That'll be an infield single for Gable. At least I'm scoring it that way.
Yeah.
Hit number 6 in the game. No, they're charging an error to Hallman.
Yeah, we got to deal with a blood issue, a rug burn.
So that'll be charged as an E6. I've been accused of being tough on fielders. I'm gentle compared to our official scorekeeper today.
He gave that an error?
Gave it an error, yep. Well, there's some who say if you get mid on it, bring it in or else.
Same would be said. Wide receivers in football, if you can touch it, you better bring it in. If you don't think you can, just don't put your fingers on it. No, Coach, that wasn't catchable.
That's right. Hallman getting a rug burn. You know, there's nothing like a rug burn. It's okay until you go take a shower.
It starts oozing.
And then you're like, oh, my word.
That hot water hits it, then the sting follows.
Yeah, there's going to be some pain tonight for several, including Hallman.
Yeah, but back in the day when I was a youth, man, you're playing on poorly conditioned baseball fields, which infields were a lot of times hard as asphalt or concrete.
Now, were you pre or post Abner Doubleday?
I was post.
Okay. So I'll make sure.
Now batting, number 22.
Skylar Evans. I shouldn't rag you since I think I'm older than you are. Evans 1 for 2. Single in the first, popped out to center field in the third. You know you're starting to eke upward though. When I'm not in the family thing, genealogy. But I learned that my grandfather was born at the start of the Civil War.
Grandfather?
Yeah.
Not great grandfather.
Not great. Nah, you're right. Was great grandfather.
Okay, I was
Thank
fixing to
goodness.
say.
Yes. So then, but still, that's scary enough in the old department. A walk after an error. Couple of base runners on.
Well, I hate to say it, but here we are looking for that mysterious and elusive two-out hit that Gordon so aptly needs.
And here we go again with a couple of Highlanders on. And the situation in innings prior, like in 1, 2, and 3, they've been left on. Highlanders trying to bring in the runs here in the bottom of the fifth. A couple of quick strikes on Ollie McGee. 1 for 2 in the game. McGee in the prior game, 0 for 3. Oh, 2 pitch to McGee with Little John on deck. One-two pitch. Gable trying to tease the throw down to second.
Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on base in the pitch.
And a base hit. There's that key base hit the Highlanders have been looking for. It brings in the tying run. Double from Ollie McGee. Pinch hitter coming to the plate for Little John. This is faced Southern. Southern came in as a pinch hitter against East Georgia and had a clutch pinch hit single that drove in a run.
Yep.
In the 6th slot is number 27, Faith Southern.
Reagan Waller on deck. And Southern trying to get another clutch pinch hit. That one came in the 7th. At the plate here in the 5th. Hit to Williams. Goes to first. Southern wraps into the 5-3. 2 runners stranded, but 1 run is in. Gordon ties it at 1, going to the 6th.
Leading out from the top of the 6th for the Bulldogs, number 17, Hudson Smith.
Top of the 6th, Hudson Smith starts, and Caitlin Hallman, Bella Owens due up in the inning 2. In a 1-1 game, clutch 2-out base hit the Highlanders have been looking for. And Isla McGee will drive in Emma Gable. Fouled away by Smith, makes it a 1-1 game. Smith 1 for 2 in the game. A double and a pop out to second. Caitlin Hallman, Bella Owens due up in the inning 2. 0-2 pitch to Smith. That is hit towards left, but foul. Reagan Waller, Abby Arnold, and Kate Cole when you get to the bottom of the 6th. Georgia Military has put leadoff on once. And as a matter of fact, it was the run that came in on the homer in the 3rd inning. Otherwise, leadoff has been retired. 1-2 pitch to Smith. Ahead of the pitch again. Into the corner, foul. Leadoff hitter, top of the 6th in a 1-1 game. Georgia Military won the season series with Gordon, taking 3 out of 4. But what counts today is this one. Either you will continue to play and be here tomorrow, or you'll make an early exit and head home. Right up the middle from Hudson Smith. Runner aboard for Caitlin Hallman.
Now batting, number 5, Caitlin Hallman.
Hallman with a couple of pop-outs, 1 to second, 1 to center. Bella Owens on deck. Punted back to Munoz, only plays at first. Smith did not put on the brakes, but able to get back safely after the throw into the dirt by Evans over to Gable.
Was she out of the box on that bunt?
Well, let's see if we can go back and take a look. Hard to tell for sure, but I don't think so based on the replay. But is that what Coach Hatterman is asking?
I thought she was.
Well, I swapped cameras right as she was laying down the bunt.
It's close.
Officials conversing, and apparently they say that they're both out. Wasn't that the indication? Yep. Hallman out, Smith out. Now how Smith is out though.
She's telling Smith to go back. The ball's dead right now, girls, so that's.
But how can really Smith be out as well?
She's not out at second.
So it's basically what Georgia Military wanted to begin with. That's the sacrifice. Though the hitter, if she stepped out of the box, shouldn't the runner go back to first?
I think so. Because doesn't that constitute a dead ball?
You would think so.
Now that at number 31, Bella Owens.
Or is that
Or
basically the runners advance just like an NFL fly at their own? I don't have the softball rule book in front of me, but I did pick that up. I thought it was, I mean, it was, for her to be that far out, I knew it was close. It was going to be one of those ones that back toe was just inside the box or on the line.
But in foul in the direction of first by Owens. But of course, the other thing that we don't know because we weren't in on the conversation is they might have simply rolled Hallman out at first. Not out due to stepping out of the batter's box.
That's possible too.
Oh, 2 pitch to Bella Owens. A little bit low, 1-2.
Munoz not happy with some of the calls. I don't think she feels like she's getting some of the calls that she feels she should be getting.
1-2 offering Owens. It's high in the count even.
And you don't know with postseason, if, you know, you'd like to think that the umpires are consistent from the season to the postseason, but we've both seen them tighten up that strike zone a little bit when it gets this time of year.
Base hit by Bella Owens, putting on the brakes and holding up as Smith. I think initially the plan was to send Smith, but Coach Bond standing right there saw that Smith got to it quickly and was firing quickly. And told Hudson Smith to go back.
Yeah, Ashley wanted to send her, but that ball was hit and fielded very quickly, and I think she would have been dead to right at home if she had gone.
Couple of base runners in scoring position, and Munoz getting replaced by Beagle again in this one. Munoz numbers. And a look at Beagle when we return.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Number 15, Alyssa Jones.
Couple of runners in scoring position. The new pitcher is Taylor Beagle, relieving Caitlin Munoz, who worked 5 1/3. Faced 22, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. 5 hits given up, 1 run, but she is responsible for the 2 that are on. Beagle came into the East Georgia game 2/3 of the way through the 3rd. And she wound up working 4 1/3 innings. Struck out 2, did not give up a walk, and gave up a single hit and run. Two in scoring position, Alyssa Jones, trying to move Smith and Owens. Three-0 pitch to Jones. Strike delivered on the outside part of the plate. Jones 0 for 2 in the game. A fly out to center, a fly out to short. Paris Kirby on deck. Another one. And the count full. Here's that key at-bat for both. Bulldogs trying to get a run. Highlanders trying to keep a run from coming in. 3-2 pitch to Jones. Strikes her out.
Boy, a great changeup right there.
Two
gone for Paris Kirby.
Now batting.
Kirby has flown out to center field and ground out to short. Annie Moss on deck. Bulldogs trying to reclaim the lead. Saw the game tied up in the bottom of the 5th when Cable came in on the McGee double. That is thrown by Archibald into, I make that Little John, into the dirt, and it will bring a run in and become the first error of the ball game for Gordon. Brings in Smith. And Bulldogs will get the lead back. And notice, by the way, they took one of the errors off the board for Georgia Highlands. I mean that for Georgia Military.
I wonder if you were thinking that one, that diving it by the shortstop that missed that, where she got the strawberry on the elbow.
So instead of an E6 that put Emma Gable on, that will be scored as a base hit. Annie Moss with a couple of base runners on. Moss a triple and a fly out to right. So the Highlanders tie it up in the bottom of the 5th. Bulldogs come right back in the top of the 6th and reclaim the 1-run lead. Fouled away by Moss. Rain Williams on deck. Bottom 3rd of the order when you get to the bottom of the 6th. Beagle in for Munoz. Outside with the pitch from Beagle. Beagle 90 innings pitched in the regular season. Most of those out of the pen had 7 starts. Moss given a walk and the base is loaded.
You got 2 outs, but you got nowhere to put them because
Loaded, now batting, number 42,
you don't take care of business. That
Williams.
just means another run at the minimum for Georgia Military.
And Rain Williams coming to the plate. Popped out to left and walked, stole a base after walking in the 5th. Emma Reiner on deck. Full of Bulldogs here in the top of the 6th. Oh, 1 pitch. Went outside with the offering, and the count goes even at 1.
Boy, nice change of pace there. Had her way out in front on that one.
One-two pitch to Williams. Reaches out, got a piece of it to stay alive. Waller, Arnold, and Cole in the bottom of the 6th for Gordon, a combined 1 for 6. Beagles 1-2, a little bit outside. Sun setting in the west, becoming a little problematic for some of the fielders. See Smith in left shielding her eyes. Little John in short, periodically doing the same. 2-2 offering to Williams. Emma Reiner on deck. And a quick-moving game is not moving so quickly after a 6 at-bat, bottom of the 5th.
It has slowed down.
Yep, and a 7 at-bat thus far, top of the 6th. 2-2 pitch. Williams, the last out in the first, I make that the 2nd inning when she popped out to left. Walked with 1 away in the 5th. Beagles 2-2 offering. Round over to 3rd. And Gable's got time to get it to 1st. 1 run in, back to a 1-run Bulldog lead. We go to the bottom of the 6th in the first elimination game of the GCAA tournament.
You've played some travel ball, you've shared the videos. Mom and Dad can only root so much. It's time to get real interest from the colleges and scouts in your area, right where you live. That's why the Showcase Series is different. We're not just another tournament, we're an advancement event where you get real-time exposure with live TV coverage of our games that get you seen directly by the coaches you want to impress from anywhere in the world. Register for events at showcaseseries.org. It's your turn at bat.
Now batting to start the bottom of the sixth for the Highlanders, number 1, Regan Waller.
Bottom of the sixth, Reagan Waller starts it. Abby Arnold, Kate Cole due up in the inning, too. Waller 0 for 2 has popped out the second and done the same to right. Couple of strikes early on Waller. It was a 1-zip Georgia Military College lead until the bottom of the fifth. Tied at 1 by Gordon on the Gable run. Then the Bulldogs in the top of the sixth come right back, get Hudson Smith in. And reclaim a 1-run lead as we go to the bottom of the sixth.
You know, Gordon did that the first game. They got a run, turned around the top of the inning, allowed East Georgia to get that run to extend it back to a 3-run game when they had cut it to 2.
Wound up being the difference, that 1 run in the sixth.
Yes, sir.
1-2 pitch. Around to Hallman. She'll go to first, and out will go Waller. One away for Abby Arnold. Arnold 1 for 2. She singled and popped out. Kate Cole is on deck.
Now batting number 6, Abby Arnold.
Oh, Moss pitch. And it is 0-2 on Arnold. Arnold 6 extra base hits, 5 doubles and a home run. .295 hitter, 11 RBIs, 28 hits in 95 trips to the plate. Popped up to second, Hudson Smith makes the catch, and there's 2 gone.
One more, let's go. On your toes, defense, let's go.
Kate Cole next.
3 up, 3 down, let's go.
The 9-hitter has reached on an error and popped out to center. Top of the order, moving to the on-deck circle. 9-1-2 to the plate for Georgia Military.
Now
When you get to the 7th.
pinch hitter, number 33, Sydney Knight.
And actually, this is Sydney Knight, who came in to pinch hit for Kate Cole in the first Gordon game today. Drives this one to center field, and that will ricochet off Taylor's mitt. On her way to second. In safely is Knight. And that is going to be charged as an EA. I will agree with that error. Not that it matters.
Now batting
Yeah,
number
that's
2, Emma
That's
Smith.
the first really hard hit ball by Gordon all day today.
And one that Taylor could have caught. And according to the official scorekeeper, should have caught. Well, I'm not sure what this discussion is between Addie Moss, Bella Owens, and Hudson Smith. Tying run at second, 2 gone. Bottom of the 6th. Top of the order to the plate, Emma Smith. Smith 0 for 3 in the game. Couple of strikeouts and a ground out to first.
I think they were strategizing on who was going to play where on this.
And it is fouled off. 2 strikes. And I think you're right with the slap hitter, Emma Smith.
Yep.
Coming to the plate. Two-strike count on Smith. Matty Neal on deck. A little bit outside with the offering. Swing and a miss, and out will go Smith. 9 left on, nobody scores. That is 9 stranded by the Highlanders
No hits, no runs in
as
the
we
bottom
head to the
7th.
7th.
In 1995, the Alabama Baseball Coaches Association has held its annual Coaches Convention, where up to 450 high school and college coaches gather to learn more about their craft from some of the best coaches in Alabama and the country. The annual awards banquet is also held during the convention, where standout high school and college players and coaches from the past season are honored for their success. The banquet's highlight occurs when the new Hall of Fame class is inducted and the Distinguished Service Award recipient is honored.
Top of the 7th, bottom of the order, Emma Reiner to the plate. Carly Taylor, Hudson Smith due up in the inning 2. Reiner with a homer and a fly out to first. They say Kirby just got a contract extension.
2 years, up to $13 million.
Now batting for the
million.
Bulldogs.
Hey,
Number 1,
fire him.
Emma
I'll work
Reiner.
for 2. Save y'all $11 million on the bottom line.
1-0 pitch to Reiner.
Yep.
Carlin Taylor, Hudson Smith due up in the inning 2.
D1 college athletics is now the minor leagues. Anybody tells you otherwise, they're not being honest with you.
Outside with a pitch to Reiner. Wasn't it Jimbo Fisher that just left Texas A&M and what was it, $70 million buyout? Is that how much it was? It was huge, whatever.
Oh,
it
yeah,
was.
I know.
Ground a little John, goes to first. A little high with the toss, but able to get it there to get Reiner on the 6-3.
Nobody argued that, but I think she might have been safe there at
Back to the
first.
top of the order for the Bulldogs with 1 down in the top of the 7th. Number 12, Carly Taylor.
Well, Dave Elder, let's take a look.
I'm just saying. Isn't that what they say? I want to tell you you're wrong. I'm just saying.
1-0 count on Carly Taylor. And that is fouled off of Taylor.
I might be slow and old, but I did play this game many a year. So
You know a thing or two about it.
just a little bit.
Count even at 1. Georgia Military would like to add to the 1-run lead. It is not comfortable. Gordon would like to keep it at 1. On the outside part of the plate to Taylor. One, two offering Taylor was struck out and ground out and popped out. Innings 1, 3, and 5. Hudson Smith on deck. 2-2 pitch. Popped up center field. Abby Arnold's there. She's got it. 2 gone.
Is it you or me? Does this field just seem like it's a whole lot bigger than Strong Rock?
Now batting, number 17.
I know it's
Hudson
not,
Smith.
but just the way.
The look, the layout. Of course, we are looking at it at Strong Rock from the first base side.
Exactly.
Do have a different angle. So we're kind of out there in the outfield, right where the infield meets the outfield.
True, we were right over the first base dugout.
Hudson Smith 2 for 3 in the game, a single and a double.
And one thing I haven't heard is the dugout cheers.
Yeah, chants. What's up
They've
with
been
that?
doing it. Okay, Skylar says they've been doing it. Just maybe they're just a little more reserved today.
Or maybe it's not as creative. I mean, it can get really good. That'll hop past Little John.
I did hear Gordon relaying, the dugout was relaying the pitch count or the pitch number that they used for their card. They were 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, or 3-1-2, 3-1-2. So they were doing something, trying to make that a little creative.
Of course, the NJCAA does put a limit, don't they, on what you can make noise-wise?
Yep. It's called artificial noisemakers.
It's like during live play, you can't beat on the bleachers. Or
And another thing too, you can't come out now with the home run bling, whatever you put over their neck, which Georgia Military did do that earlier, which.
I'd rather see the home run bling, this is me personally, than that home run hitter sling the bat.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah. I'd prefer the bling. Have I mentioned I'm old school, though? 0-2 pitch. Fielded, bobbled, cable to first, still able to get Holman on the 5-3. So no damage done by the error. It stays a 1-run game.
We got the last chance for Gordon to avoid that number 1 seed jinx.
When we return to the bottom of the 7th.
Before we get done, Robert, starting here, looking across the field there, Georgia Highlands is sitting on a 10-2 lead over Andrew going into the bottom of the 7th.
That'll be a 9-inning game played over on the baseball diamond.
Now batting, number 10, Maddie Neal.
Unless they get a run rule.
Bottom of the 7th, Maddie Neal, Emma Gable, Skylar Evans. Gordon wants 2, at least 1, their preference 2, to avoid elimination. Bulldogs want 3 outs. Count even at 1 on Neal, 1 for 3 in the game. And there's that base hit from the leadoff hitter.
if you're Gordon, that's what you want. You want your top of the order in the inning, getting on base. That's the way you can create things. All they need is one to tie it up, send in the extras. Of course, they'd like to get 2 to finish the game out and send GMC home. But if they don't get at least one, Gordon will be the one heading home today.
Matty Neal in first. And a runner coming in for Matty Neal. That runner over at first is Kendall Rollins.
For Gordon State at first base, number 7, Kendall Rollins.
If you're Gordon, you're playing for 1, not the 2 right now. So are you sacrificing the runner over, I would assume? Well, no indication.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think that's not playing to win in my opinion. And I don't see Coach Hatterman necessarily doing that because the way they've played the previous 2 games, look, let's just go and try to get it. We're playing just to get extra innings. We shouldn't be the number 1 seed and we shouldn't be here to begin with.
Emma Gable 2 for 3 in the game. Count even in 1. Now the bunt laid down. Moss again will throw it away. Over to third will go Neal. And off to second goes Gable.
Was that Moss that fielded that and threw it?
It was Moss. Moss did the same thing in the second inning.
Yep.
Got away with it, though, because there were 2 outs.
Yep.
Now nobody's out.
Now you sit here and look at it. Okay, I got runners on second and third with no outs. Do I get a sacrifice to try to get that runner tied up, and then you have a runner either still on second with 1 out to possibly get in, or move that runner also on the sacrifice? But you got to be careful. You got to. I mean, if you're going to sacrifice right here, if you're going to squeeze, you got to put it in the perfect spot. I mean, you can't. You punt it right back to the pitcher. You got to get the barrel of that bat and move it, preferably down the right field toward the first base side.
Rawlings running for Neal at third. Edwards running for Gable at second. Skylar Evans to the plate. And the Bulldogs have gotten themselves into a bind with a couple of base runners on and both in scoring position.
And Skylar Evans has some pop. She's got 8 homers on the year, 374 average, 33 ribbies, so she can drive it. If she can get one she likes and put it in the hole.
And, of course, in the circle, her counterpart has 81 strikeouts coming in. And that is Addie Moss, who needs some of those Ks now. That is caught at second. Double play.
Yeah. How do you make a base running error with no outs?
Evans the fly out to Smith, and then Edwards caught off the bag at second. What a huge play.
That right there was purely a mental mistake, because you've got to know, as the pinch runner in second base, you've got no outs. The ball has to get through. You've got to make it sure it's through before you take off, because if it's through and you don't score, you still tied the ball game up and put yourself at third base with no outs. If she had stayed, basically what you've got, you still have runner on second and third with only 1 out. That's a killer right there.
And you like the speed on the base path. That's why you got Edwards there. But when you put in the speed, you lose some experience.
Well, that's just it. You take a runner off the bench, and they might not be totally in the game scenario. That's why you've got to, the runner's got to know. But as a coach, you got to say, look, you can't get doubled up here.
Well, Ollie McGee's gone 2 for 3 And she has an opportunity to get Gordon to forget about the double play, especially if she can bring in 2. But even if she can get in Neal, tie the game and go to extras. Outside with the pitch to McGee. And if you are GMC, do you pitch around McGee, a 358 hitter, to get to the 205 hitting Littlejohn?
Well, you definitely don't give her anything to hit, because if you put her on first, then that still gives you a force situation for the next batter if a ball's hit to either short or second for the third out. And they're not going to give her anything to hit.
That was an intentional, unintentional wall. And it brings Joni Littlejohn to the plate. And you like this situation, too, if you're the Bulldogs from the standpoint, you can't pitch hit for Littlejohn because you did that in her last at-bat. Unless you wanted to come out of the game. Into the strike zone with the first pitch to Littlejohn.
Boy, if I'm Littlejohn, and what'd you say she's hitting 205? I'm sitting there looking where the third baseman is. I know there's 2 outs, but if you can lay a bunt down, almost like a drop bunt, put it right down the line, make her have to make the play. But she does better.
Base hit. Littlejohn delivering, and the game is tied. So Littlejohn says, won't somebody in front of me again? Tied up at 2. And now the winning run at second. And coming in to run for Ollie McGee, that is Hannah Baldwin. And with 2 gone, you're not worried about the inexperienced mistake that might make.
You know, you get far enough, as soon as that ball's across, you get your lead off the bag. But I mean, the crack of the bat, you're going all out full tilt. And you got one objective, that's to get across the plate.
On the outside part of the plate to Reagan Waller.
Waller needs something big. She's what, 0 for 4?
0 for 3.
0
Pop
for 3.
outs to second, right, and ground out to short.
Does that go get through? Yeah, that's going to be the ball game right there.
In to score is Baldwin. Gordon wins it. Waller got what Gordon needed. RBI single, and the ball game is over.
Why you play the ball game. As old Yogi said, it ain't over till it's over. They pulled that one out right there.
Another 1-run game, our 3rd of the day. And Georgia Military will be the first to exit Gordon with a walk-off Reagan Waller single that drives in Baldwin and wins it for Gordon. There are your numbers. 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 in the 3rd off the Ryder home run, and 1 in the 6th. 3 Georgia Military College errors, and they will strand 7. Gordon lives to play another day. 10 hits, 3 runs, got 1 in the 5th and 2 in the 7th. They commit a couple of errors and still wind up stranding 11. But they'll take 11 stranded, mixed in with a W any day of the week.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen very too often. But, hey, you look a gift horse in the mouth anytime it'll give it to you. And I know Gordon right now, after the way they played game 1 and for the most part, game 2, I'll take it. You know what? They're saying, I'd rather win ugly than lose pretty.
Still to come tonight is the final game.
Well, they have won,
between East
and we'll
Georgia
play
State
tomorrow. AMAC and
Bulldogs.
East Georgia,
With the winner
the
advancing to the
unbeatens,
finals,
30 minutes from now. We will see you then.
being placed
For all
against
the
Gordon
folks with the
in the early game tomorrow.
GCAA, Dave Elder, and that big staff at GCAA. I'm Robert Williamson for JockJive, an equally large staff. So long, everybody.
Oh, God. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.